Hello guys, welcome to the first episode of the genspeaks podcast series. Genspeaks is a community where students can meet industry professionals to get their questions answered. It is a place for learners. It is a place where you will find students who will challenge your thoughts so that you can grow as a person. In today's episode of genspeaks podcast series, we have Nainika Sharma who's working for EA Sports. This particular podcast is very interesting because we get to know how a backbenching student has turned all the odds and now is a part of one of the biggest gaming industries on planet. So without any delay, let us just dive back into the podcast.
Hello, Nainika Sharma, and welcome to the first episode of Gen Speaks podcast series. So, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and to be honest, I'm quite nervous about this. So,
Me too. And this is not the controversial Me too.
Okay, got it. So, so you were from Geetanjali College of Engineering and Technology, right?
Yes, I was.
So, which branch were you in?
I was in electrical and electronics, that's triple So,
And then you directly, you got into EA and then you had a few of these things, right? Can you just elaborate on that?
I did not directly get into EA. There was a lot of steps in between. But yeah, I was not an engineering student by choice. It was, I just happened to have good grades, decent grades, not good.
Okay.
And my parents were like, this is something you should do. They suggested it and I was like, okay, fine. I'll give it a shot because it wasn't that big of a deal for me.
Okay.
I wasn't that sure about my career back when I was a teenager, which is one of the things which we all have to work on. And I got into engineering, did a lot of things here and there, starting from a food vlogging channel, which did not work that well. It had to stop in between. Even before it started, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
And then I thought I'll do MBA maybe after college, but then I realized that is not my cup of tea either, or at least not for the coming couple of years. I'm not planning to do that. Then I started carrying, I worked with my engineering thing, got my degree, got first placement in an edtech company, which was the only reason I accepted that offer was because of the huge package and a bit of backstory here and there. And after that, I realized that this is not something which I can do because it was very toxic.
If I may interrupt, I'm sorry. I have this one big question in my head that I want to ask you, which many students have right now. If we don't do well in engineering, is that the end of the career? Because many students right now, like if they have many backlogs or anything less percentage, they feel that, that's it. It's over right now. We don't have anything else to do. Is that true?
If that was true, I wouldn't be sitting here and you wouldn't be taking this interview. So yeah, it's not true, guys. Marks, yes, it is important. Like, I wouldn't say, I'm not one of those who would say marks are not important, don't run behind it. It is damn important. It is the first thing they see. I mean, my parents, my dad is a government employee, so he works for the government, central government. So because of that reason, there is always this pressure, not pressure, but there's this thing at home that they want me to get into a government job. And the first thing they ask you is distinction.
Exactly.
In any exam. I can't just go show up my face and be like, hey, come on, hire me. Take my interview and I'll prove you right for hiring
Exactly.
me. They don't. You don't have the cutoff. You're not even there in the list. So many times I see when I go for exams, for government exams, and I see the person sitting next to me, I know I can beat the shit out of this person. But I also know that I won't get the chance because he's much intelligent than me on papers. On papers. That is the focus point. On papers, he's much intelligent than me. And I won't get the chance to beat him down in the interview. So, marks are important, but also I'm here and I worked for... I'm not showing off, guys. Please don't take this in the wrong way. But I worked for a edtech company with a good package. I worked for FAANG, one of the companies of FAANG. And now I am in the biggest gaming company. EA Sports.
EA Sports.
And more than biggest gaming company, why I love my current company is that it is the most loved employee company. So the relation between the company and employee, I think that has been rated in like, for the continuous 5 years, it has been in the top 5 companies with company and employee relations. So marks does not play the role.
And this happens, the marks thing, it happens only in India, right? Or is it the same in other countries? Because in other countries, like I heard, the thing is your profile matters. What have you done differently than the other people out there? So this only happens in India. I'm right?
I think it is certain. You are right that marking system and marks are just in India, because also the jobs which we have in other countries, you are already an MIT pass out if you are in a corner chamber of a New York based company. You are not a person from a middle class college, or it's not from a mediocre college.
Yeah.
You are from a top league college if you're already there. And that's how it is, right?
Yep.
A lot of people, they drop out of colleges if it is not big league colleges in abroad.
Okay.
I'm talking about abroad. So if you go over there and if someone is flaunting their degree, it is obviously from Ivy, Harvard, or any that big names, or even the state colleges. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, the main education thing, it is more here. So that's why we talk more about marks over here than compared to the West. So yeah, that's it. And also over here in India, we are more focused towards like, if you don't have a degree, you won't have a job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Over there, it's not like that. A person, he may be having a degree and then end up doing something with carpentry and all.
Yeah.
That they look for what makes them happy, not always with money and all, which is not seen much over here. It is now, we are working towards that. Now in the coming years, we are getting to that point where we are not going for the traditional jobs and the traditional careers, but I think we are
We had around 60 to 1,000 startups which emerged in India in the past 10 years. So that is great.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a kind of abstract question.
Okay.
So if you were given a time machine right now, and you were asked to go back to when you were an 18-year-old. So what one suggestion that you would give to your 18-year-old self?
I'm not sure about the 18-year-old, but there's something I would give it to the 17-year-old.
All right.
That's before joining engineering. Don't join engineering. This is not your cup of tea. This is not something you want to do. So don't do it.
If you're not sure about it. If you're not sure about engineering,
I think definitely. I was sure from the beginning that this is not my cup of tea.
Oh, then yeah.
But I did it because I did not have any other option. Like, I don't want to bring out the political atmosphere, but there is this thing, right? That you don't have an opponent, so you end up giving vote to this person only.
Exactly, yeah.
So I did not have an alternative career in my head. Because 17-year-old, you don't know.
No, exactly.
You don't know the harsh reality of the world. That which one may help you, which one will get you money. And I was very, since childhood, I think, I don't know where, I think this came from my mother to me, that I always wanted to be independent. So I wanted to have a career which pays my bill. I have been my daddy's daughter, I have been my father's lovely princess and all, but since childhood, there was this one dream that I want to be independent. So I thought this would be the only career, which is wrong. 17-year-old, you take some time, go back, go career counseling, get a proper career counseling done, and don't join engineering.
All right. So from the past 2 years, in 24 months, almost 70 to 18 months, we were at our homes, right?
Yeah.
Lockdown, blah, blah, and all.
Yeah.
So what were your biggest learnings in the lockdown? 18 months, we were just sitting at home, right? Personally, me, I've not learned anything. I was just reading, watching movies and all. So you, what have you learned in the past 18 to 24 months?
There were multiple learnings. I don't know which one is biggest because I haven't had that test date. Like, everyone has this one day in their life where all the learnings is tested, right? So I haven't had that day yet. So I don't know which was the biggest learning. But the few learnings which I'll keep with myself forever is that, one, you're replaceable. No matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, you may be a superstar, you may be a carpenter. I don't know why I'm giving so many carpenter references. But no matter who you are replaceable. It may take a while, it may take a day or a week or a month, but you are replaceable. So don't go with that notion that I'm irreplaceable or no one can take my position. Second thing, a steady income is required. Fortunately, touch wood, throughout the lockdown, I had a source of income.
All right.
And this is separate. I'm talking about my source of income. I'm not including my family. They had their own thing. And I was having my own thing. There was not even a single point where I was sitting without any income. And that plays a very important role because we all know a lot of things happened which we thought didn't happen. The pandemic took a lot of loved ones. They took a lot of people and things from us. And because it took a lot of people from us, the biggest thing was a lot of people couldn't pay the bills. And I'm talking about medical bills, not about the electricity and all.
Yeah.
And for that is one of the biggest learnings, that always have an emergency fund. Always have some money which you're not going to use no matter what. It's just going to be for the day. For the day.
The day, exactly.
Yeah. When things go south, that is the time when you're going to open that account, take out the money. And luckily, my father, he taught me this. So as soon as I joined Amazon, he started slow. He was like, let's do one thing. Let's take 10% or 20%. And I was like, okay, cool, fine. I'll do 20%. Next month, he was like, let's do 30. Let's figure it out. It works or not. 30. Then it came March, we went 50, and then it was lockdown. So I went 90% of savings.
Whoa.
So the salary, the 90% of my salary was going into savings. And the 10% was bills, or sometimes if I had to order in something or something like that. That's it. And by the year ended, I had a huge amount in my account. And it was just there. And I knew that no matter what happens, if there's something which I don't know how to work out, if I don't have immediate cash, I know there is this thing back there. I'll just go make a call and I'll get that money.
Yeah.
So these are the two things. One, you're replaceable. Two, always have a steady source of income and have an emergency fund. That is important.
So I'm just adding this. So I've read this book called Atomic Habits. In that person says that when you enter 20, you have to at least start saving at least 50, 100, a small amount every day, and then you have to make it a habit that you save it every day. So in a 10 to 20 years span, it'll compound a lot, and you'll have a lot of money in your bank account, and you can save.
I mean, I heard this somewhere. I don't know where, but it was bifurcated like this: 30% your savings, 40% your needs and necessity, and the rest part, I think it was upon something like luxury or whatever you want to do. Because also, you need to treat yourself, or else you'll start hating the entire process itself. Don't do anything excessive. Just baby steps, one step at a time.
Yeah, so you've worked in around more than 2 to 3 companies, right?
Yeah.
So which one was your the most favorite one that you liked till now?
I haven't had my favorite company yet. I'm being honest. Out of all the 3, I think EA is the one which makes me very happy, because there's no day that I haven't logged in without a smile. I know that I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is work related. Sometimes it is just my colleagues who make me happy. I know I shouldn't be saying this. People from my workplace are going to kill me for this, but usually when it's going a slow day, when we are having a slow day, we have DJ Zoom calls.
Whoa.
So my batchmates, 8 of us, we join together. So we get on a Zoom call, we start playing music. And it is random music. You don't understand the language, you don't beat whatever. You just do that. And that is how you make your time worth it. Because there's a point in your career where you'll be like, this is going very slow. This is not something I want to do. I want to move out. It is completely on you and your fellow colleagues. How you make that deep point or that low point. How do you revive that low point?
Exactly true.
So my colleagues help me in that. Whenever I'm having a low point, I just text them that this is not working out for me. Do we do something? And then we do it. So yeah.
So as you said, EA Sports is a very huge company, and you have to prove yourself at some points, right? When some point of work is given to you. So do you have any productivity hacks that you use? Whenever this is not happening, and then you sit down and something like that. Any productive productivity hack sort of thing.
I sleep.
You sleep. Wow.
Okay. I think EA, and not just EA, any IT company, you have that benefit that if you're not feeling productive, you can just take a break, punch in your lunchtime or do whatever, and just go out, have your lunch or do whatever you want to, and just come back to your productivity.
Oh wow.
But my hack is towards my other thing. So I do a bit of writing here and there.
Wow.
No, there's nothing wrong about it. I'm just amateur. I scribble whatever I feel like. Now it goes from poetry to stories to just paragraph.
Oh wow.
I can picture, like for example, if it's you. Now someone says me, I have to write a paragraph about you. No matter how little conversation we had or how less I know you, I'll still picture you in a way that you would love to hear.
Wow.
And that's something which is rare because people,
exactly,
without making it look very sugar-coated and very fake. So that is something which I can do well. I can write about you good things without making it look fake. So when in my current company, I started this small thing where I started writing birthday notes for each employee.
Oh wow.
It started with my batch, but then my manager liked it and she was like, let's do it for the entire team. Now team is 60 people.
60 different birthday notes.
60 different birthday notes. And sometimes it is, today there's a birthday, tomorrow there's a birthday, one day break, then there's a birthday, then there's a break, then there's a birthday. And you don't know of this person at all. This person is someone who doesn't come on camera. How do you expect me to write about this person? But still I make up some hypothetical situations. I gather some anecdotes from here and there and just write up something nice. So usually I have this thing, productivity, like the productivity issue over there. That time what I do is I open YouTube, check some videos, just how to write in about certain topics. Now, for example, if I am connecting you towards to the word friendship, I'm going to see how XYZ writer wrote about friendship.
Okay.
But only till that point where his perspective does not influence mine.
Exactly, yes.
Because that is one of the big issues. Like if you are a writer or if any artist you are, no matter what, this is just a feedback. I know I'm no big person to give you a feedback, but still, do not watch anyone's artwork so much that you start getting influenced by it. Because this happens subconsciously.
Yeah,
this is not something you're doing consciously or you just want to copy the person. You do it subconsciously, it reflects in your work, and then they tag you as copy of wannabe and all this stuff. So yeah, just watch something but learn with it.
Exactly, what you said is it's completely true, because some people, they take a certain person as their role model to such an extent that they literally copy them.
Exactly.
And they lose themselves.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you can have multiple role models, but then take one quality from each of them and then imbibe in yourself.
This is such an amazing point. I mean, and it's just not about role models. This is about your friends as well.
Exactly.
I don't know, this is not connected to the question, but I still want to bring it up. That you don't always have to have just one best friend. You don't have to put the entire pressure on that one person that, hey, you have to be there with me throughout. You can have multiple friends.
Yeah.
You can have, for example, Ganesh for your career advices. You can have Rahman for your any personal life issues. You can have XYZ for any other things. So you can, like this, you're not putting the pressure completely on one person.
Yep.
And then you're getting a good perspective, a fresh one.
Wow. That was a great answer. So,
I like compliments. Keep giving them.
yeah, definitely. And one more thing, this is just a promotion of my reel that I put up last time. So whenever you compliment a person, that makes the other person likes us more, and you can, build a bond over there. So yeah, keep that in mind.
It does. I'm liking it.
Yeah. So I'll ask you one more big question. So what was the biggest failure that you've been in, and what did you learn from it, after you got it?
I don't know my biggest failure because touchwood, things didn't go south that far.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think I can give you a couple of mistakes which I did.
Okay.
One, ego trip.
Yeah.
I had this, someone just said me once that women can't do sales, and I took that on my ego, and then I went ahead, took an edtech company's offer and moved to another city, and I started doing sales, and I was knock on that. It's not that I did I wasn't good. I performed pretty well. But the environment which it came with, toxic workplace, constant bullying, constant no matter how good you do,
Mm-hmm.
there's always something.
True, yeah.
There's always something. Probably that sale was good because he was a divorcee, and that thing was good because this XYZ person helped you, or like that. So she can only do the younger sales, the one for the kids sales, because we're talking about edtech, right? So all this kind of things, no matter what you do, it had to be ridiculed. It had to be put in an insult way. So I shouldn't have taken that. When someone said me that women can't do sales, I should have asked them right then and there why.
Why? Yeah.
Why is that? Give me examples. Give me reasons for this. Second thing, you don't voice out your bulliness. You don't voice out the issues you're having.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this to any student out there, anyone who's just started their career. Got a problem? Report it. There are tons of people in any company, no matter how small or how big it is. There is a welfare for you. There is an association for you. There are a bunch of people out there who are going to help you. You just have to report it. No one else is going to do it for you. That's there. If it is happening to you, I know that I'll come to you later on. I'll be like, hey Ganesh, that person is not doing right to you. I'll just say that. But it's on you who has to go and complain.
Yeah.
And you can't preach that we need changes, workplace changes, we need good, safe workplaces if you are not complaining. So if you can't go ahead and complain about it, don't talk shit about it then. Just, that's there. So, and one more thing.
Yeah,
I'm
sure. It's okay.
Understand that if someone is hiring you, they're not doing any ihsan on you, doing any favor on you. Because when you get hired, you do the job you're getting hired for.
Yeah.
So, these HRs, they come to you in college and they show off like, oh my God, I'm hiring you. Just be confident. I'm not saying you to be rude or be arrogant towards them, like, yeah, whatever. No, don't do that. Be confident enough to ask what you deserve. Because my first few companies, I was just like, yeah, pay me whatever you want. And that does not work like that. I mean, after getting into the company when you're not allowed to discuss salary, but sometimes here and there you get to know that this person is earning more than you.
Yeah.
While you are doing better job than that person. And it's just because he was vocal enough in his interviews and he said that I want this, if this, I'm in, or if not, I'm out. So you can't completely blame the HR as well because you weren't speaking when it was the time to speak. So yeah.
She just gave out a very interesting interview hack. whenever you want something, just ask it out right there. Just don't sit down and leave and then suffer later.
And it shouldn't be in very heated. What we assume about such conversations is that it's going to be heated up.
Mm-hmm.
The person is going to think that I'm very greedy, lalchi and all. I'm running behind money. Dude, there are no free lunches in this world, just by the way. Everyone knows this. You are working for someone, they have to pay you. And it is on you how much you want to get paid for that work. It is, you can't just go ahead and be like, hey, I want 1 lakh. No, that does not work. There is a bracket. Now, for example, no matter which company it is, they're going to give you a bracket of 26 to 35. There is a bracket of 35. Now, if you are someone who is not asking for your money, he'll just hire you for 26.
26, yeah.
And then he'll be like, my job is done. I saved so much money. He's going to show to his boss that he saved so much money. Whereas, if you're someone who's vocal enough and you'll be like, hey, I want 40. The person will be like, 40 is not possible. You'll tell that I'm bringing these skills. You'll be like, still 40 is not possible. Then they'll ask you for like 32. Then there is this constant
negotiation.
And then you end up 35 or at least 34, which is way more than 26. So, be confident, ask for what you deserve.
That's great. So, now let us talk about, something bigger in picture, okay? So, what do you think that, like, according to you, what do you think that India can change right now so that, our country's GDP or whatever, goes higher and our country can move towards a better progressive side? What can we change according to you?
Okay, on a serious note, I'm just a small human in this entire country. I am nowhere right now to give that advice or give a suggestion as well that what to be changed or what not to be changed. But there is one thing that I would really love to see is that stop treating entrepreneurships. I don't know if this is the current pronunciation we're taking because since years it has been changing, so I lost the track on what is the right pronunciation. But stop treating it like unicorns. It is just a thing. Stop treating it like it is some magical thing. It is something only certain people can do it. No, it is something which anyone can do it.
True.
If you teach me, if you are taking me to a class where you teach it as a subject, where you have case studies, where you have theories and practicals about it, I may turn out to be a good entrepreneur. Who knows? And that is about India. I don't take it in the wrong way, but the fact is that if it isn't a subject, it is not a profession.
Yeah.
This is about India. This is the truth about India. That if you want that to be a profession, you have to first make it a subject. Because that's when our Indian parents accept it.
Exactly.
That's when our society accepts it. That, okay, this is a subject. Okay, there is a career.
Exactly.
So, for that, start taking entrepreneurship as a subject and teach them. I think Delhi government or someone took this initiative and they took it in a curriculum, but it's a good step for starters. There's a long way from here, but this is something which I would love to see.
And like for your information, there's this thing called the Masters Union. So it is like a completely different way for doing masters. So the thing is, they give you case studies, practicals. You get to build your own startup in the curriculum and stuff, and then even you get paid for that. You have big companies coming forward which give you high packages if you have a startup, and then they try to merge it yourself. And to get into it also, it's quite simple. Have a good GRE, GMAT or whatever score. Have a good profile, not marks. So you need to have good profile to get into that. And once you have it, that's it. You're in. And you'll have a personal interview too. So yeah, that's about it. What is like the biggest driving force that you had behind you all these years? Like you said you were like you thought engineering was not my cup of tea, but then you ended up completing it, getting into different companies. Like what was your driving force behind that?
I know the answer is going to sound very cliche, very melodramatic, and so predictable. But that's the truth. It was my parents. I mean, I'm talking about these two people who moved from north to Telangana, that time Andhra Pradesh, in the 90s without knowing the language. And we're talking about 90s, so English isn't in the play. This is just Hindi and Telugu. And as soon as they came here, they saw so much hate because people had this notion that they took away their jobs. Yeah. They did not understand that they got transferred. They did not do anything. They just got their own job in a different location. People didn't understand that, and they got so much hate. And still, from there, from the bottom, it was literally bottom, and today they are here. I can't put specify it. I don't know. I can't put more so much. I can't emphasize how important that was for us, because I don't think any of the kids would have any good future had they been where they were. And the basic education, that even the fact that today I'm speaking here, I got a prep talk at home.
Oh wow!
My mom was like, "Don't speak fast. Look at cameras. Have a straight posture, everything." And I like how invested they are. So. And I remember my dad saying this one time to me that okay, I'll say it in English because you guys won't understand maybe. He meant that he gave us this platform. He brought us till here. Now it is on us to just go above it. It's just going higher and higher. There's no coming down. The family does not do negative diving. It's just only up. And that is the driving force for me. That is the motivation I have, because I know, despite of having language barriers, despite of having constant hate, despite of not being as well aware or well informed as I am right now, I have the luxury of a bachelor degree. I have a luxury of internet. I have a luxury of phone. I have the world on my fingertips right now. I have contacts. I have networks. I have almost 200x things which he had. And it's just that I can't go down, or I can't stay on that level.
Exactly. You
I have to go up.
Yeah.
That is there, no matter how, no matter when. It may take time, so there's no time pressure on us that you have to do it within 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
You don't have time pressure, but you have to do it. You are going up, you're not coming down, or staying on the same level. So that is my motivation.
Yeah. So, in a recent tweet given by Adam Grant, India is basically a very status-driven society. And what we think is, by pleasing our ancestors, we'll do well right now. But that is not the fact. The thing is, we have to please our future generation, because those are the ones who will take the generation forward. So that is quite a small thing that I wanted to share.
This is basically contradicting my statement, but I'm not just trying to please my ancestors or my parents.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, you should not please your ancestors, and you have to please your future generation so
that they can. I'm pleasing everyone. Whoever is getting pleased by my growth, success, I'm doing it for you. And it's being, this is on record, whoever it is, wherever, whichever corner of the world you are right now, if you get pleased by a girl's success, I'm sorry, I'm playing a women card here, but if you get pleased by a girl's success, a girl who was mediocre student, whose teacher always told her that you wouldn't do well in your life, you're not going anywhere, you're gonna stay here. If you get pleased by her success or journey, thank you. Thank you for doing that.
That's a good thing. So, yeah, this brings us to our next question.
Yeah.
So, this is from our investor, Rahman. So, he asked, what is House of Sudarma? Like, how is House of Sudarma right now? Can you just give us an explanation about what exactly Sudarma is? What is House of Sudarma?
House of Sudarma. Thank you for the question. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, investors, for asking this question. I've heard this after ages. I have heard the name of the house after ages. This is something which I think I should right away go home and book the .co of this name because after this video is released, someone is going to take it. So it is basically a project which hasn't started.
Oh wow.
It is something which will take time. It will come out. And once it does, you'll get to know about it.
Okay, so follow Instagram handle if you want to know more about what is House of Sudarma.
Yeah, you follow, give me ad request, I won't accept it. Sorry. And I'm one of those people who keeps a social media profile very small because as strong or as opinionated I appear right now in real life, in the social media life, I'm very... I'm a small, tiny girl who gets affected by even a single different look.
Okay.
If you pass a comment which does not have proper punctuations, which does not have an emoji to explain it, I'll take it in a wrong way. I'll go on a different tangent. I'll self-loathe and it's just a mess of a week. So I keep my circles very close. I know the people who follow me. I know if this piece of shit is saying something, I'm going to take my hockey stick, reach his house, and I'm like, yeah, boy, tell what. So I'm one of those kind of people. I keep my circle very small. This was the funny reason. The serious reason is I don't have anything to show off or glorify on social media. My life is very basic. I wake up, I do my job. I probably go out for a couple of hours, come back home, cook meal, and I sleep. There's nothing exciting about it to follow or to know about. There is something here and there I do for fun and all. Few people enjoy it, and that's why they follow me. Who don't, they don't. So that's all. I give myself the very story.
Alright, so most of the people think that social media it's purely about fame game and stuff, but that is not it. They do something and they just do it for fame. They don't do it for the purpose of learning, and that is one of the things that maybe those people...
I mean, I feel bad when someone of my age, someone who looks like me, someone who is exactly a copy of me, just puts on some makeup, good fancy clothes, lip syncs, and she ends up having 1 million followers. But there is a small page which is selling stuff, handmade stuff, or basic small businesses, and they end up with 10k followers or something like that. And it's just not about small businesses, it's about comedians as well. There are a lot of stand-up comedians who are still at 90,000 followers, or it is just like 10k, 20k, while this person, and there is no hate in this. This comes from a very positive and very curious point of view that someone who is lip syncing and just putting on some makeup and dress gets 1 million followers, whereas this guy who has been writing for years and performs it on stage on that 5 minute of time slot still gets less followers. So that's shame on us as audiences and as followers.
Okay, just a quick question. Do you think that influencer name that they put on behind, does this do any justification for them?
I don't know, what are they trying to influence? I'm not getting influenced. Look at that women or that man, even guys. I'm not just women, man, any gender. I'm being very politically right here, right now. No matter who you are putting influencer, if you're not teaching me something, what are you influencing me for? Are you influencing me for makeup? If yes, show me how you did makeup. If you're influencing me for buying clothes, show me how you're buying clothes, and show me how you're making money for buying that clothes. Because that is more where I'm interested in. I can go to Zara and buy clothes, but someone has to teach me how to earn money to afford Zara clothes or any such brand clothes. So that is more of influencing for me as a person, and this is just my perspective. It can be wrong.
What you said is exactly right. If you see the past trend in Google searches and all, the word how and what has gone on like deep, like very badly. Nobody's searching for how and what. They just want to the thing is, when you get to know the the terms how and what, you get to know how the stuff works. And that is one thing that is not happening right now.
I think these are the 5 things I think in my school they taught me. How, what, when, where.
Right. 5 of them are very significant in learning anything.
If learning anything, and
Exactly.
if you're not serving these 5 purposes,
Exactly.
I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And it's just not as an influencer, it can be as a businessman, it can be as a startup, it can be as in anything. If you're not serving at least 3 of these 5, what are you even doing? Just leave it.
Yeah, so this brings us to our next question.
Yeah.
What, according to you, can an ex-student do so that, he'll have a good career out there? Or, what can they do differently in order to have a good career, or a good future, or anything? What can they do differently?
Network.
Wow.
Network. I mean, I can't tell how important this is. Networking is the key. Today where I am, it's all because of network, because on a Sunday morning, I got a call saying that, hey Nainika, there's an hiring going on in Amazon, want to take part? I was like, okay, cool. I can't tell how important networking is, because nowadays it does not work like there is a job posting somewhere. You get a notification that, hey, there is an hiring going on. There is there, but it is the last step. It works in the last. Almost 60 to 80% of the jobs are already taken by the referrals.
True. So yeah, let me dive back. Okay. So what's that one most important thing that you learned in your life till now that like literally gave you an eye-opening moment? What is that?
I think that would be, there is this saying that jack of all, master of none. I think, right? But no one ever told you the entire saying that jack of all, master of none, still better than knowing something wrong. Okay. It's basically that you being jack of all is not a bad thing. All your school, all your education, all till now, you have been taught that no, you have to be master at one. And jack of all is not a good thing, but the original saying says that it's fine, it's okay. It's okay to know everything. It's okay to not just be
towards one thing.
Yeah, towards one thing. So that's one learning which I loved, and which I think I'm gonna pass it on to the coming generations of mine or of anyone, that it's okay to be jack of all. It's okay to not know something perfectly inside out. It is not supposed to be like that. You are not a supernatural or power that you have to know something completely. It's fine. It's okay. And the second thing is that if you have confidence, if you have the confidence of selling yourself, that is the most important thing which I feel. That if you can sell yourself, you can do anything. Because at the end of the day, it is the face value. And I'm not saying I'm not meaning it as figuratively, or I don't mean it on appearance or that. I mean it as you work. Your work is your face value. Like Zakir Khan once said that the book cover, like there's a saying, right?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Do judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
If your cover isn't good, work for it. Because no one is gonna buy something which they haven't read, or if they don't like the cover, I won't read the book. So work on your cover. And if you are not working on your cover, be good enough that you sell it without that cover. Be that amazing with your network, with your speaking, with the confidence, the way you sell it, that everyone will be like, okay, the cover is not good, but I'm still gonna give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And do not listen to the sayings and all, because we have been taught half things. The other half gives you a bit better picture, and the picture is that no matter what you do, it's fine. You'll be fine. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday you're gonna make it. So yeah.
Perfect. That's an amazing answer. So so with this one last question, we are going to end this podcast.
Thankfully.
So this one question, we frame this question keeping in mind all the students, engineering students out there. So like you worked in many companies like Amazon, and now you're working in Escorts, right? So what is that one skill, which will help the fresher people who came into the company, will help them stand out? What is that one skill should help them stand out in the company?
I think not a skill, but it is a character. So if you want to stay in a company, if you want people to know who you are and what you do, you have to have your roots deep inside the company. You need to speak to the people. You need to know the who's and whom's of the company, right? That's what they say, who's and whom's, right? Yeah. So you have to know that. You have to have the knowledge that he's the most influential person, he's the most powerful person, or she is the one who can get this thing done. You need to talk to people. I mean, a lot of us, we have this mentality that if it is not related to the process, or if it is not related to your project, that is not valued.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
We all have this thought that, okay, if it is not process related, it's not important. But recently, I mean, there are these two people at my workplace I totally look up to. One is this guy who is 22 years elder to me.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah.
22 years elder to you.
Yeah, and wow. He is my peer person. So he's almost doing the same thing which I do. But the thing which makes him more human towards me is that we quarrel like kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we are on a call, we'll be having arguments like kids, and we have that thing, the sarcasm and all the stuff. And there's this other guy who is on a better position, and I look up to him. I think someday, if things go well, I would ask him to be my mentor or something like that.
Wow.
Because this person gives me shivers. He gives me, I shiver, I fumble. Even the thought of him is making me fumble. So these two people, I was on a deep, I think I was on a low point in my work life. So I was not happy with what I was doing. I was questioning. I was like, is this even important? Is this making a difference? People are seeing this or not? I'm talking about those other extracurricular works, right? You do your project work, but you need to do this as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I got on a call, I told them separately, hey, this is bothering me. And that's when they told me that what I'm doing is actually making a difference. People are changing. It's not as fast I expect them to, because I'm emotionally right there. And these people are those who haven't had these kind of events or these kind of environments since ages. So for them, it will take time to reach there. But once they are there, it's going to make a huge difference. And what I'm doing, these little things, they matter. So no matter how small it is, how tiny you may think that it is, in the long run, it is making a difference. It's basically you're putting up small steps. Small stepping stones. These are the small stepping stones which now it may look like a bumpy road, but when you see in the long run, it's going to take you very high. So always talk to the people. Your working network is very important. It helps you in your internal job transfers. It helps you in getting better projects. It helps you in knowing people, and it helps you when you want to transfer your job to another location or something like that. So this is something which I did. It's been just an year joining this company, but I can say I know more people than people who joined much earlier than me. And that was just because I was in charge of my own career. I knew that this is not something anyone else would do for me. If I want to get growth, if I want to stick into this company for a couple of years, I need to talk to the people. And if you're someone who changes company for money within a year or so, I'm sorry I can't give advice because my mentality does not work like that. So I'm sorry, that is not my area. I think you should ask someone else.
That's one perfect answer. And now we'll take in any random questions from the audience. Any 1-2 questions, anything is fine. Any questions? Any questions?
One from my side. What is that one and last piece of advice that every student should follow in their life, no matter what?
Don't blindly listen to your lecturers and professors.
Yeah.
Don't blindly listen to your lecturers and professors because they are also figuring life. You may think we have this general notion that we are in the Hindu religion, we equate gurus, the teachers, to God. There is a saying, Guru Brahma dono samne hai, main kiske paun pehle karu. So all these things are there, but it is now in lack of better words, things have changed.
True.
Everyone is human. Everyone makes mistakes. So if some teacher, if some professor comes to you, right on your face says that, Nainika, you can do nothing in your life, you're going to stick here, just smile at them. That's it. Don't reply, don't say anything, don't be rude to them. Just smile and leave it. Because 4 years down the lane or 5 years later, you'll be doing something really great. You'll be doing something really great. And the same teacher would be like, I'm very proud of you. Dear, you did good job. And that time you can say, yeah, teacher, you told me that I wouldn't do anything. So, yeah.
Well, if you guys didn't have, you didn't hear it properly, it was Sharun's question, and the question was, what is that one advice that every student has to follow? Alright, so with this, the podcast comes to an end.
Woohoo, finally.
Thank you, Nainika, for coming here and, being our guest for the first episode. And also one more shout out, guys. Today is 19th Feb and tomorrow is 20th Feb, which is her birthday.
Oh my God.
Please, it's a birthday today. It's like a small shout out from our side, showing that, we are really grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I think I haven't heard so many good things about me in a long while, and I'm glad this happened just on my birthday eve so that I can be more happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you.